I'm Heather, 72. It's been 6 months since I made the life-altering decision that changed my relationship with my children forever. I'm sitting at my new dining table, a simple yet cozy space in my two-bedroom condo overlooking a duck pond. My three children, Jake, 48, Lily, 46, and Ben, 44, are sitting across from me. The air is thick with a mix of tension and a hint of hope. Before we start this meal, I need to talk. 6 months ago, I sold all the properties you thought would be yours. I moved to this new place without a single word to you. I know it shocked you all, but it's time for us to understand each other. Let me take you back. I was born into a middle-class family in a small town. My parents were hard, working, and instilled in me the values of love, sacrifice, and family. At 22, I met my husband, Tom. He was a kind-hearted man, a mechanic by trade. We got married and bought a small house on the outskirts of the city. Our life was simple, but full of love. 5 years into our marriage, Tom and I were blessed with Jake. 2 years later, Lily came along, and then Ben 3 years after that. Life was a whirlwind of diapers, school runs, and soccer games. But then, tragedy struck. When the kids were still young, Tom had a fatal car accident. I was left alone with 3 children and a mountain of debt. I took up 2 jobs. During the day, I worked as a secretary in a local firm, and at night, I waitressed at a diner. My sister, Grace, would take care of the kids in the evenings. I'd come home exhausted, but seeing my children's smiling faces made it all worth it. I remembered Jake's high school graduation. I saved every penny I could to buy him a used car. I worked extra shifts for months, and I drove my old, rickety car until it finally gave up on the highway. Lily was always the academic one. She got into her dream university, but the tuition was a nightmare. I refinanced the house without a word of complaint, just so she could have a better future. Ben was the rebellious one. He got into trouble with the law a few times. I hired the best lawyer I could afford, putting myself in even more debt. Over the years, I also bought a small cabin by the lake and inherited a vacant lot from Tom's family. All these properties were in my name, and I held on to them, thinking they would be a legacy for my children. As the years passed, I continued to pour my heart and soul into my children's lives. I cooked their favorite meals, decorated the house for holidays, and always had a listening ear. But then came that fateful Christmas Eve. I'd spent days preparing for our traditional Christmas dinner. The house was decorated. The table was set for all of us, my children, their spouses, and my 5 grandchildren. I was looking forward to a warm, loving gathering. But then Jake called. "Mom, there's been a change of plans. We're not coming for Christmas. We're on a cruise." Lily found an amazing deal for the whole family. I was stunned. "But it's Christmas Eve. I've been cooking for days." His response was cold. "It was last minute and you get seasick anyway. There wasn't enough room." I was in shock. And then I checked my bank account. There was a withdrawal of $13,000 for a cruise. They'd taken my money without a single word, leaving me alone on Christmas. That night, I sat at the empty table, surrounded by the smell of a feast no one would eat. I looked at the Christmas tree, the presents I'd carefully wrapped for each of them. I felt like a fool. I'd given them everything, and this was how they repaid me. I made a promise to myself that night. I wouldn't be taken for granted anymore. The next day, I called an old friend of Tom's, Mark, a real estate attorney. I told him everything. He said it was elder financial abuse, but I didn't want to take legal action. I just wanted to take back control of my life. I decided to sell all the properties, the main house, the lake cabin, and the vacant lot. Mark was hesitant at first, but he saw the determination in my eyes. He helped me list the properties. The market was good, and soon they were all sold. I found this wonderful condo near the park. It's small, but it's mine. It's a place where I can start anew. I hired a moving company and packed only the things I truly wanted. I left behind all the reminders of a life where I'd been nothing but a doormat. When you all came back from your cruise and found the house sold, I knew there would be an explosion. And there was. You were angry, shocked, and you accused me of being crazy. but I stood my ground. I told you that I'd spent my whole life putting your needs before mine, and it was time for me to live for myself. These past 6 months have been a journey of self-discovery. I've made new friends here. I join a coffee group every morning, do water aerobics 3 times a week, and volunteer at the library. I'm happier and more fulfilled than I've been in decades. My relationship with you has been fractured, but I see hope. My grandchildren have reached out, and I've spent wonderful times with them. I love you all, but I need you to respect me as an individual. I don't want to be your convenience anymore. I want us to build a new relationship based on mutual respect and understanding. As I finish speaking, the room is silent. Jake looks up at me, his eyes full of emotion. Mom, you're right. We were selfish. What we did was unforgivable, but we want to make it right. I smile softly. It's not unforgivable, just unforgettable. Let's start anew. As we start to eat, the conversation slowly turns to lighter topics. The tension eases, and for the first time in a long time, I feel a glimmer of hope for our future as a family. Now, I'm curious about you who are listening to my story. What would you do if you were in my place? Have you ever been through something similar?
Comment Bilo?
And meanwhile, I'm leaving on the final screen 2 other stories that are channel favorites, and they will definitely surprise you. Thank you for watching until the end.